This is Dr. Ted Caleris, Superintendent for the Brooklyn City Schools. I am here with Miss Deliz, our Assistant Superintendent, Mrs. Perez, second grade teacher, Miss Kubek, our seventh grade social studies teacher, and Miss Cleveland, fourth grade math. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So today I wanted to explore and talk a little bit to our new staff members and just kind of really get a chance to talk with all of you about how your experience is here in the district. And so maybe what we could start with, and we can start with Mrs. Perez here. Mrs. Perez, tell us a little bit about you, your previous experience, and how you found yourself coming to be a Brooklyn Hurricane.
I started in Garfield Heights, where I taught third grade for 3 years with Miss Cleveland. And I came over here because my husband actually subbed here as a gym teacher, and he always talked about how amazing of a district it was, and he loved being here. And I always figured if the subs love it, then I'm sure the teachers love it even more, because that says a lot for a sub.
So, Ms. Perez, would your husband take offense to you calling him a gym teacher?
No, he is a gym teacher. He's a gym teacher in Westlake, so yeah, but I was just interested in it. He always loved it, and I was really excited to see that the second grade position opened up.
Outstanding. Ms. Kubek, tell us a little bit about you and where your journey here.
Yeah, so this is actually my first full-time teaching position. I just graduated from Bowling Green State University in May, and so I was looking around the area because I grew up around here. And what really caught my eye with Brooklyn was the sense of community. And I also loved the emphasis on like service and on empowering our students. That's something that I'm very passionate about, especially teaching social studies in our current world today. So I was very excited to join that team and be here and be able to empower my students to find their voice.
Ms. Cleveland, you joined us a little bit later in the interview process last spring, but tell us about you and your journey and what brought you to Brooklyn.
All right, so I am coming from Garfield, where I did 2 years as Title I, and then I did 4 years as a third grade teacher. And what brought me to Brooklyn was, well, first, all the wonderful things that Emily told me about it, and then also just a sense of community, the diversity I see here. And I felt when I came here for the interview process, I just felt very welcome at that time. It was a vibe I got, the energy I got when I came here, and I wanted to be a part of that. So that's what brought me here to Brooklyn.
Well, all three of you have been an amazing addition to our team and our family. Ms. Deliz, you were in that position about 4 or 5 years ago as a new staff member to Brooklyn. Tell us about what brought you to Brooklyn 4 years ago, and then really your journey over the last 3 to 4 years in the district.
So 3 to 4 years ago when I got here, I'm ending my 4th year right now. It has been one of the best moves for me personally, professionally. I started my teaching career in Cleveland, and kind of took a journey and found my way back to this area, and coming to Brooklyn. I love the diversity. I love the community sense. Those same things that you are, people at the table are talking about.
It's true.
It really is. It's a wonderful place to be and a wonderful place to grow. The families are super supportive of what we do. The colleagues, the people I work with, there's a lot of people that can say you care about kids, but I feel like here, when we say that, we mean that, and we work together as a team to make sure our students and families are taken care of, and each other.
Thank you. So one of the things that I'd like to talk about a little bit is about your first impressions of the district. And obviously, I think, all three of you here, are coming with some different experiences, different journeys. But walking in that door, those first few weeks, tell me how you felt about transitioning to this new role, whether you were an experienced teacher before or coming in kind of right from the college setting. Tell us about your perceptions and what some of your, I don't want to say struggles were, but what really was on the top of your mind during that transition?
Well, for me, as a first year teacher, it was completely starting over from scratch. I had been with fifth grade before, so seventh grade was a little bit older, and now I'm doing social studies only, and I had two subjects before. So it was a big change. And one of the biggest things when we talk about a sense of community and talking about what we love, I think the people here, the staff members, have been super helpful and supportive. One of the best ways to learn is by making mistakes or by asking questions. And I've definitely done a lot of that. And having a supportive team with the rest of my seventh grade teachers, as well as having groups like the Hurricane Educators group, where we can get together once a month and talk about things that we're struggling with and find resources to help support us. That's been like the most helpful thing for me. And I feel like a lot of times first year teachers kind of feel like they're being thrown out in the middle of the ocean, but it feels really helpful to have like a team of people that I can go to and talk to when I need help.
Right, Ms. Perez.
Oh, I completely agree. I think that I got really lucky with my second grade team. They're all extremely supportive and people I can lean on and I talk to probably too much in the morning for the entire hour like we did today. um, but yeah, I just walked in and I could feel the community. All the kids just seem at peace here and happy. And I just really love that if someone's struggling, they have so many resources for support. I mean, all the work that the counselors do, you know, Liz, the behavior manager, she does an amazing job supporting teachers. I just feel like everybody looks out for one another, and I appreciate that. I know that if I ever have a problem, I'm going to be supported on all ends.
Ms. Cleveland, what about you?
Again, the sentiments are the same. I noticed that everyone was always smiling. Like there was always a smiling face, a welcome, a hello. A lot of people came and introduced themselves to me, and that made me feel really comfortable. My team is amazing. I have some veterans on the team that have taught me a lot, even in this short period of time. And just like I came from just teaching, well, I came from teaching multiple subjects to one subject too. So I feel like I'm given an opportunity to kind of grow as a teacher here, whereas before I didn't have that.
Yeah. Ms. Deliz, one of the things that we've worked on over the past 4 years now is developing the person as a professional, right? I think I would say that all of you were hired obviously because your credentials as educators, but I will definitely say all of you were hired because of who you are as people. And I think that's one of the most important thing we do in Brooklyn City Schools is to make sure we hire good people, kindness, professional, because kids take a village sometimes to educate and move through our system. Lisa, tell me a little bit about your philosophy in terms of investing in our new staff members and how you organize and run your, I think Carly mentioned it, your Hurricane Educator Academy. Tell me a little bit about that and, tell everybody really what that is.
Sure. So, I feel like exactly what you said, when we go out and hire new staff members, I can kind of coach you and give you some X's and O's. You have to know a little bit about the knowledge, but your personalities, who you are as people, is so incredibly important to our mission here. And so what we do is we bring in our new staff and we make sure we hold a new staff orientation at the beginning of the year. I'm always trying to check in with our new staff, but we have created something called the Hurricane Educator Series. And what that is for these new staff members who come in, we meet and we talk about different topics, especially those that might pertain to, you're brand new to Brooklyn. So what do you mean when you're talking explicit instruction? What does that look like? And what is that? And oh, but I don't know what to do here. I don't know this, or just some processes and procedures that we have in the district. I think too, every staff member, whether you're a veteran staff member or you're a brand new staff member, is assigned a mentor, which I think is extremely powerful. So even if you've been teaching 9-10 years in a different district, you're coming somewhere new.
Yeah.
So what do I do when this happens, or where do I go for this? It's just nice to know that we've connected people to make them feel welcomed here and have somebody that they can go to for support.
Ms. Kubek, tell me about your mentor. Don't mention name, but tell me about your mentor and really some of the things that they've worked you through this year in terms of that support.
My mentor is somebody that I talk to on the daily basis, and I feel super comfortable asking a lot of questions to. I've been able to observe her in her classroom as well, and see some of the classroom management strategies that she has on staying focused, helping the kids have that organized and structured classroom, because that helps them be able to get through the content. And I think a lot of first-year teachers, including myself, struggle a little bit with classroom management because it's the first time we've been on our own with the students, and not had somebody as backup. So it's been helpful to be able to see her and then be able to implement some of those strategies as well.
Emily and Oshania, you're veteran teachers, right? You came in as a vet. You're not directly out of school, but you also had a mentor with you. Tell me about that support and kind of things you bounced off of that teacher during the year.
My mentor and I have met a few times, but I can quickly email her or pick up the phone and ask her a question, and she's been there every time, providing helpful resources, even if she doesn't know the exact answer,
Right.
directed me into the right person or to the correct resource.
No?
I think it all just comes together with this idea of support and community in Brooklyn. I feel like the mentor relationship that you can have, you can go and ask questions and you can be comfortable, but also it just helps you feel at home that you have somebody that you can always go to whenever you have a problem. It's really nice.
We're here for the kids, obviously, and that's usually the best part of my day when I'm at arrival or dismissal and those types of things. But tell me what you feel or what you think about our kids in Brooklyn and why this place is so special.
I think it's the families as it relates directly to the kids. They're involved. Education is a priority. I have had a lot of families reach out to me, and I've made those connections where we can support the child as a whole, that connection as a team with the family and the kids and the teachers. So I like that about the community.
One of the things I love the most about seventh grade, but specifically Brooklyn seventh graders, is they're starting to come into their own sense of ideas and identities. And it's super exciting to be able to see this passion about their community and about what's going on in the world, because they care. And so I love being able to be with students that are passionate and care about our world and our community.
Outstanding. Emily?
I think that the parents are the first teachers in a student's life, and it just really shows how much guidance these kids have had, where they come in and they've been at the same school since kindergarten, and their siblings were in here since kindergarten, and everybody knows each other walking in the building. It was just really special to see. I remember on the parent orientation night, having all these families walking down the hall. I think I met every single one of my parents that day, which is kind of unheard of for before school even starting. I mean, these kids are just so comfortable here. They're so supportive of one another, and they really care about each other. It's really nice.
So you are now veterans, the veteran teachers of Brooklyn City Schools. What advice would you have for any new staff member, whether experienced or not experienced, coming into the district next year? We have about 10 to 12 new staff members that we're going to be bringing on next year, and so it's another important hiring season for us. What advice would you give them?
I would just say, come, bring that energy, be true to yourself, who you really are, and I think that's what makes this stand out. Everyone is just who they are, and welcoming, and be open to the new experience and in the community.
Ms. Deliz, what about you? What advice would you have for any of our new staff members coming in next year?
I think take advantage of those opportunities that we have. I mean, when you get here, especially if you're brand new, you're building your toolbox. And what supports do you need? If you need to go see a classroom, talk to your mentor. Make sure you ask questions. Make sure if you're not sure, you're asking questions. Even if you're a veteran, what are those things? How I truly believe we have staff here that if you can come outside of your shell or feel comfortable, we try to welcome you, but I truly believe everybody here is wanting to support, and when we have supportive staff, that just helps our students be more successful. So I think the person coming in really utilize the resources, utilize your mentors, utilize your building administrators, utilize your office, call me, ask me a question. We're here to help.
Carly, you're coming from a unique where you're coming right from college, and I think we have one or two staff members next year that are going to be they're new grads. What advice would you have for them?
I would say be patient and confident in yourself. Confidence is super important because the things that you learned, you actually do get to see them come to life. It's awesome how many different scenarios we played out in college that now I feel prepared for because I just learned about it. And it's also unique because you have a fresh perspective on all these philosophies that you just talked about. So being able to see that in action is awesome. So be confident in what you've learned and be patient with yourself because you're going to make mistakes. You're going to do something one block and say, oh man, I want to switch that for the next class or for the next year. And that's okay. As long as you have that growth mindset of trying to change things and make them better, you'll be doing great.
Superintendents do that too. No, I promise you. This is Perez. Final words.
Yeah, I think that in teaching in general, every year I've changed so much of myself and learned so much every year. And coming into this district, they do have so many resources with the trainings and the programs and all of the support that you have. So just being open to the new ideas, coming in with a positive mindset, it's going to be huge because it really is a great community. And if you can just dive yourself into it, you're really going to be able to live it to its full potential.
Well, I will tell everybody listening, these are three of our best new staff members, but we have another group of new staff members that we weren't able to invite on this episode, and I will say all three of you and really the entire class of 2025, 2026 has lived up to your reputation. So I just want to thank you for being here. You guys did a phenomenal job. I'd like to thank everybody for listening. This has been Dr. Ted Caleris with the latest episode of the Hurricane Watch podcast. Thanks, everybody.